Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the all-new 2023 Lexus LX600. This is the luxury trim level, which has a starting MSRP right around $108,000. And for the exterior, it is finished off in a beautiful champagne style, which is very elegant for this type of luxury SUV. Let's start off with what powers this all-new 600. This has a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V8. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 409 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. Sent through that full-time four-wheel drive system, it will propel this 5,600-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. It has a top speed of 130. And as far as fuel economy, you're looking right around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. This essentially is replacing the Toyota Land Cruiser, which is no longer available in North America. So we have the all-new LX600. Now for the exterior styling, I really like how Lexus has gone away from having the hourglass design for the grille basically sticking out front and center. It's a lot more integrated into the bodywork surrounding it on both sides, especially with all the gloss black for this model. You still have the hourglass design, but it's a lot more subtle. This does have LED headlights, DRLs and turn signals, LED fog lights in the lower section. And I like how everything has come together with the amount of body colored and the gloss black. Now the hood, interestingly enough, has two massive bulges on both sides. There's almost a half pipe right in the middle, which is very distinctive from the driver's seat. But it has a great design to it, especially for the size. Now this has a set of 22-inch wheels, great color to complement this exterior body color. Gloss black for the power folding side mirrors, which have a camera and the turn signal. There's a sunroof up top. More gloss black surrounding the window trim as well as on the door handles themselves. This does have fixed running boards and then a really nice design from the side. I can see some of the Land Cruiser aspects into it, maybe a little bit of 4Runner styling to it, just in some of the elements. Really nice lines that flow down the side, and this even has the full adaptive suspension, so it will raise and lower. We are currently in the easy entry and exit height, but it will go up to provide even more ground clearance. And for the rear, this has the integrated spoiler, third brake light with the wiper blade. LEDs run right through that power liftgate, has a backup camera with all these sensors. It can even tow right around 8,100 pounds. So if you need a family-oriented SUV and something to tow, it's a perfect combo. With the power liftgate opening now and the third row up, not a whole lot of space to place in extra items. You might be able to fit them somewhere on the floor, but if you have this packed full of people, not as much storage space, but you can have everyone with you. Now you can also fold down all of these seats with the push of one button, or I can use the two middle ones for this second row. Now you do have to have, or the third row, you do have to have the headrest down, of course, and you have to have that second row not reclined. So on this driver's side right now, I do have that reclined, so I won't be able to put that seat down all of the way, but you can get an idea of what it looks like with that one all the way down. And it will beep at you to tell you that the seats are not either all the way down or all the way back up. You can also use the other two to fold down the entire second row, but they are manual to bring back up. So if you have that seat reclined like I do, you just have to have that out of the way, of course, in order to utilize that. But with them down, it gives you plenty of space in the back. Really only if you need those two seats will you have them up, of course. Now the door panel has a great design to it. This also has the manual adjusting sunshade. There's wood trim, the Mark Levinson audio sound system, and then a little bit of storage in the lower section of the door where you can place the headphones to watch some movies on those screens. Now, in order to make our way to the third row, I'm gonna push this button next to the headrest because that is going to push the driver's seat forwards, and what that is going to allow us to do is to fold this seat down from there. I think it does have to be in the normal position, and it will automatically pop up and you can push that out of the way. From there, I can work my way at 5'10" into the third row. Now I have plenty of leg room. My knees are very high up because I am sitting very low, but I have plenty of room for my feet. My head is just up against the headliner. I could ride around town in the back, but this is mainly for smaller kids. You have storage for a drink or whatever other items. You can even recline and incline these third row seats, so that is very nice. There's some auxiliaries too, and you do have some climate vents, so that way you can be a little bit more comfortable in the third row. You can also adjust the third row from these buttons here. So if you're reaching into the back, you can raise or lower those as needed, and it's just as easy to work our way back out. From here, you can grab the seat, pop it back up, and now we're ready to hop into the second row. Now, for the full review that I made, I went over the screens in the back. Mainly, you can go through your audio, you can go through being able to pair your phone or hook up a system to go to whatever you would like to play. So not a whole lot of settings, but it is nice to have that screen front and center. Now there's storage pockets, there's air vents in the middle. These are even heated and ventilated second row seats. We have the dual zone system for temperature, where you like the air to go, and a lot more auxiliaries in the lower section to hook up whatever items you may have. Now right in the middle, there's the armrest along with 2 cup holders. So if you need additional drinks there, you can do that. And there's a good amount of visibility for your second row seating. So it's very open feeling. It's a big vehicle, a lot of windows. So that is to be expected. Now the front door panel is just like the rear. There's more leather, the memory seats, power folding mirrors, all the window adjustments, and then the same design, of course, for these front seats, which have a nice trim accent to all the automatic adjustments. And in the lowest setting, it's super easy to jump into. We'll fire this up so we can go over the rest of these controls. This has wood trim and leather for the steering wheel, which is a nice touch to see. On the right side, all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings, as well as mode and tuning. Left side, there's volume, Bluetooth, and voice commands. And then to go through this infotainment system, on the left side, there's engine temperature, oil temperature. Right side is the fuel level and the battery voltage. And then currently, we are looking at some of the technology features that you can go through and turn on or off, just depending on what you would like to see. If I scroll over, there's messages along with cruise and the lane keeping assist. There's music, compass, and then some other vitals that you can go through. There's a calm screen there, TPMS, even an eco meter. So not a ton of info, but it gives you what you need in order to drive this, of course. It says steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. And then on this left side, a little bit of storage where you could place some smaller items if you need to. You can open and close the power liftgate. There's the engine start stop feature. And then some of the odometer settings, even a view button. If I click on that, this animation will pop up showing you a 360-degree view of what's underneath and surrounding this vehicle. So if you're unsure, just push that button and you are ready to go. Don't even have to get out. You will see that entire animation. Now this does have a head-up display. It is showing miles per hour, the compass, what gear you're in, along with the tach. And then for the infotainment system, there's power and volume for the radio on this left side. Navigation, you can pull up in full screen. There's your music, your phone when you have that paired, trip information and vehicle alerts, and then settings to go into. So it's pretty simple, straightforward, but it gives you what you need to drive this every day. Of course, you can hook your phone up to this system too. And then underneath that, there's a secondary screen. You can go through the fan speed, adjust where you would like the air to go for your driver or your passenger. You can monitor your braking and your accelerating, look at the four-wheel drive system, the drive mode that you are in. You have a shortcut to all the climates, even the heated and ventilated seats and steering wheel, rear adjustments too. You have a lot to go through, which is pretty cool. Even the interior lighting, you can shut that screen off as well. So it is nice to have that right in the middle, integrated nicely with an air vent on both sides. You can adjust the temperature physically by using these controls here, where you would like the air to go, the heated side mirrors. There's even a climate concierge. I believe that's like an auto system, so that way you can be comfortable when you exit next time. There's a rear defroster too. And then underneath that, we have the mode select for the various driving modes. So there's a few here, just depending on how you would like to drive this. You can easily set that up. This LX600 also has the multi-terrain select. It has drive modes that you can enter, and then the downhill assist control and crawl control. Very interesting to see that for a luxury style vehicle like this. You do have to be in 4 low in order to activate some of these. So in order to go into 4 low, let's put this into neutral. We can twist that dial where we are going into the highest off-road setting right now. And with it in drive, it is still raising. We have crawl control, which now we can adjust the speed there. So you have low, mild, and high. And then we also have the multi-terrain select. So it's pretty cool that you can do that in this luxury style vehicle. Crawl control is basically cruise control for off-road. Now there's physical buttons for the heated and ventilated seats. We also have some auxiliaries, heated steering wheel button, a little bit of storage space in front of the shifter. If I put this into reverse, that is the backup camera, where we even have some guidelines. We have the cameras on the side for that top-down view, some settings that you can go into as needed. So it gives you a good amount of visibility, and then we have the forward-facing camera as well. Now here's the e-brake, the auto hold. This has a center locking diff, traction control. This is how you can raise and lower the vehicle. Now there's a wireless charging pad in the middle, 2 cup holders, and then you can actually open up the center armrest 2 different ways, and it has a cool box. So if you have some drinks with you, you can place them in there and keep them nice and cooled. Glove box has a good amount of space too. And as far as visibility goes, it's very easy to see in all directions. Up top, there's the sunroof adjustments. There's even a sunglass holder as well. So let's go ahead and get the all-new LX600 out on the road. From second gear, here we go. As we come around a sharp right, you can feel the weight of this for sure, but it handles it well. I am impressed, and the paddles are super responsive. So we're driving around a 6-figure Lexus. I think I can see that being justifiable. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you can get into this $80,000 roughly for a base model, and we are almost in the top trim level, fully loaded. So you do have a range. It's an expensive SUV, but it's so quiet, comfortable, smooth to drive, would be an excellent daily driver. I didn't mention earlier, but from the exterior, the bulges in the hood from the driver's seat look pretty cool. You can easily place that passenger corner. It's a large SUV. So if you're buying this, obviously you know what you are getting into, but at the same time too, it's easy to keep within these lines because of the hood design and everything. I can tell where the passenger wheels are, and it's super easy to drive for its size. I really like the fact too that when you slow down, this is a setting that you can configure, but the forward-facing camera will appear, and we have visibility underneath the vehicle, top down, and I can see what is in front of me at the moment. That is interesting that it just went solid. Oh, so it goes solid when you stop, which is interesting to see. And we'll do another acceleration. We'll get into a second gear. Here we go. The transmission is so smooth, just like that. It's impressive. I like the new power plant. We have a lot of power, fuel efficient, and super smooth to drive. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this all new 2023 Lexus LX600 Luxury. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this luxury style SUV for me today. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.